Good morning. And today I'd like to give a little bit more of my story and also a little piece of how I made the connections I made for the people responsible for everything that was going on for me. And you're gonna be interested in this. At one point, I auditioned for something called the Great American Speak Off. And yes, I am in fact a public speaker in certain aspects, or have potential to be. So I auditioned. I got a denial and then an immediate call from 10X Stages saying, if you just give us $1,700, you can come speak for us. Now, keep in mind at this point, my fiduciary had already denied my book deal, which is the money I already had for my book deal. And that's another story in itself. See, I called them and I said, okay, I've got a book deal with Bestseller Publishing. I've already pitched the idea. It's locked in. All I need is the money. I got no call back for weeks after I got an email saying I could have the money because I already have the money. Somebody else was just in charge of it. So I talked to my mom like, Mom, and this is how I made the connection between my mom and that fiduciary. Mom, I got all this money. I got this book deal. She won't answer the phone. My mom freaks out immediately. She says, well, maybe they're just scared. Maybe they're scared of what you're going to write, and you should just write it first. Write the whole thing right here on your hack device so we can take it. And then maybe she'll give you the money for the deal. When I looked at her and I said, I'm well aware that my devices are being monitored and I'm not giving this away for free. This is mine. This is my book. This is my money. I got silence for days. So after the Great American Speak Off audition, I immediately get a call, phone call, direct call from 10X Stages. We want you to come speak on our show. You gotta just give us like $1,700. And we'll get you on 10X. And the only thing I could think to do is be furious, because I'd already dealt with them when I was in California. I had already told them no. I already knew what they were about, I knew what they were connected to, and I knew what kind of garbage they were presenting. And now look, the scandals associated with that. I called it because I know what kind of people they are. These fiduciary people, they denied, 5 valid rental agreements while I was in California. I was on the street for 10 months. Denied five or six valid rental agreements while I'm homeless on the street. They denied me getting into, I think as high level or next level speakers. They denied my TED Talks, which I'd already auditioned for and got. They denied me giving me my own money for my book deal, which I still have, by the way. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, when I first wanted to incorporate the collective, this turned out to be a thing that protected me later, so I'm not mad about it. But when I first wanted to incorporate the collective, I pitched the idea to Shark Tank. I auditioned, I got on the show, a brand new way to design a corporate structure that would only work for my significant niche. And I did 2 video auditions. I pitched the idea. I got on the show. Fiduciary says the paperwork isn't right. I can't give you your own money to get on Shark Tank. They've denied everything I have tried to do, that I earned, that I built. Denied giving me my own money. Money I already had to further my life. It was always some issue. Well, they don't have the right paperwork. Well, no, I don't think that's such a good idea. Well, the auditor won't pass. How is $25,000 of my money that I have just sitting there going to a reputable publishing company not going to valid or verify through an audit? That is, like, I saved this money for years. So now we're on a different path. Fire the fiduciary. Get back control of my finances. I'm not being held back again. I have all this money just sitting there that they're not letting me touch because they don't feel like it. And every time I would talk to my family about it, I knew the connection because they would take joy in the trap they had set. So, that's a little bit more about my story. I've already put myself out there. I've already earned my place. I've already done the work. I've done the auditions. I passed them. I've built these networks. I built these relationships. I built a collective by only being able to give me, because they wouldn't give me finances I already had to financially back myself. So I figured I'll build me. I'll build the relationships necessary. I'll get myself, my name, my story out there. I'll put the real me out there. That way I got the foundation work. So by the time it's time to put all these people in the dumpster where they belong and gain access to everything the universe is bringing me, everything I had already earned and built, by the way, then here we go. Foundation set, audience in check, game, set, match. Guaranteed success. I built myself from nothing with nothing. And I keep going because I see the end game. That's faith.